Ciara loves her job. So much so that even though she was supposed to be finished at 6, she's still here working at midnight. She looks out the window at the moon and thinks of home. Then she opens up the last Ziploc packet and pulls out a fistful of shamrock. She walks to the door and presses the button. When the door opens, she lets the shamrock go and watches them float upwards. In the sky, she sees a ship leaving, making its way past the shiny satellites. Tomorrow is the 17th of March, and for the first time ever, as far as we know, there will be a St. Patrick's Day parade on China Moon. And she's in charge. Far away, a different time, a different place. Tullyglen, 2022. The grocer McCann wipes the malingering drip from his hairy nostril. He's getting on now. He'll be 82 in a couple of days. He's living proof that being bitter and hateful won't kill you. Or maybe it's those rare, small and voluntary acts of kindness that he can't explain, that he notices himself doing against his better judgment. Maybe it's those brief actions have kept him from shrivelling up altogether. He's all morning standing at the mill bridge, stopping anyone who'll stop to listen to him complain about all that's wrong with everything, engaging them in conversation, and out of habit interrogating them. For he's been the keeper of gossip in the village all his life, since he was in the cot before he could talk, taking it all in. He got gossip from his grandmother, who was born in 1888, and she likewise had stories she heard from her own grandmother. He knows everything about everybody. Other people's misfortune gives him comfort. But more and more, he's noticing you can't guarantee it. And the fact that so many manage to wring happiness from despair baffles him. There's a few people about, but they all seem to be avoiding him for some reason, unknown to him. Leaning over the bridge, he notices snowy white in the river bank below. He tries to think of something smart to shout to him, something nice and sarcastic. Out of nowhere, running along the top of the bridge.
Jesus Christ!
He ducks down. She jumps over his head and keeps running across the bridge wall.
Holy God, you nearly give me a bloody heart attack.
Sorry. Here, catch.
Hungry turtles wired to the moon.
Down below on the riverbank, snowy white smells bad. He knows that. But sure, what harm?
Thought I saw fish jumping, but there's no fish in that river. Thought I saw swallows swooping, no swallows swoop till summer. I thought I dreamt there was change coming. There's no change ever. What's the use of Wishful thinking when we give it all away to politicians. Dark days in the shadow of an hill, drinking wine for breakfast.
She comes running down the grassy slope to the riverbank.
What do you want?
I brought you a sandwich.
I'm not hungry.
Save it for later.
What's in it?
Strawberry jam, banana and Nutella. Ciara McGinley, get you up here now before you fall in that water. What in under God do you think you're doing talking to that wino? What would your mammy say if she knew you were down at the river talking to him? She knows. I told her I was making him a sandwich. I made a bag of sandwiches for all the sad, lonely people. Do you want one, miss?
Up the road, she sees Joel Gallagher up a ladder, hanging bunting for the parade. Big mopey head on him. She stands at the bottom of the ladder.
What do you want?
Joel used to go out with her big sister Sandra, but she dumped him. He has a face on him, would sour milk.
What are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? Hanging Christmas lights. Go away. The sight of you is annoying me, you wee freaky.
I brought you a sandwich.
At a table outside the cafe, your man with the beard and the waxy moustache who dresses a bit funny is having a coffee, writing in a notebook.
What are you doing?
I'm writing a poem.
What's it about?
Well, it's a sort of free-form letter song poem thing to a friend in Berlin.
What's their name?
None of your business what their name is. Listen, you're interrupting my flow. Can you leave me alone?
The hipster poet reapplies himself to the important task at hand, diving into the flow, his head full of longing for a Dublin dancer living in Berlin. Do you remember when we had to stay within the 5K? Hey, 5K. I'm a gallivanting kind of man, but I do what I must, I do what I must, I do what I can. And who can you trust if you can't trust us? Part of the community, you and me, tore apart. Oh, my heart. I had no work, it was hard. The pubs were shut, that's how mad it was. I was on my own, talking to you on the phone was all it was keeping me going. Some days I was hanging on. Hey, 5K. Oh, my 5K, I knew it well. I know every leaf that fell. I talked to the trees, they talked back to me. The cows in the fields used to recognize me. I knew every puddle, I knew every stone. I gave up counting how long I've been on my own. I practiced mindfulness. Jesus Christ, how much more of this? And you used to say, sin, sin, sin. I'll be holding you in my arms. Sin, sin, we'll be dancing, holding hands and walking. Touching like we never touched before, 'cause now we know more. Now we know more. The value of things, the meaning of being together. You used to say, sin, 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 hey, we'll be together. Sin, we'll be dancing. He wrote it all down, and when he reached for his coffee, he noticed the wee girl had left a sandwich on his table. Outside the butcher's, a wee girl sitting in a buggy. Lizzie McCann's baby. Lizzie's inside in the butcher's. Ciara hands the wee girl a sandwich and smiles, tears off down the road. She climbs up on the oil drum outside the garage, then pulls herself up onto the flat roof. She runs across the roof and jumps over onto the wall that runs along the back of the gardens. She looks into her bag. There's only one sandwich left. She's hungry now, but she's not sad and lonely. Last time she made sandwiches, she got rid of them all. There's a pair of pigeons outside the back of the chip shop. She tosses the sandwiches towards them and keeps going along the wall like a tightrope. She looks up. The sky is blue. It's not even night time, but there's the moon. And she wishes she could jump that far.